Voting is more than just a right, it's a powerful tool for change. Every vote counts and every voice matters. Voting protects your rights and helps to build a better future. And it's a way to hold our leaders accountable. Voting isn't just about the big elections either. Local elections impact our daily lives. It is important to study the candidates and the issues in order to make an informed decision. Election 2024. Don't sit it out. Your vote is your power. PR Connections Radio presents.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Evelyn's Roundtable. This podcast highlights a host of relevant topics. Our conversations share voices of women of color, Black women veterans and veterans, allies, candidates, and elected officials, entrepreneurs, teachers, students, and others. We also explore important issues and challenges such as grassroots leadership, job training, homelessness, and mental health advocacy, accountability, male inclusion, and civics. Our mission statement is to empower all women. You hear me? All women to hold hands as we rise. Well, hello. Oh my gosh. I am just so stoked and excited that you're on here. Oh my gosh. I was like, I got to ask her, but I don't know if she's going to say yes because I know you're so
Of course I'm going to say yes. I'm so happy to be here, Evelyn. Thank you for inviting me.
It's such a pleasure to have you on here. It really is. Let's just get right to it. Can you just tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what you're doing? Because you're doing a whole lot.
Well, Evelyn, I am so grateful to be here, first of all, and joining you. And I'm sitting on the city council right now and working very hard. I'm also running for Las Vegas mayor. So I'm thrilled to be here and we can just jump in and talk about the issues.
Yes, that you are that person. That's for sure. You are that person. Yes, you are. I just and I know me and you have talked a lot about veteran women and reentry and about Nevada Women in Trades, what I do besides the podcast. And I remember seeing you out at where we were doing flags at the
yes.
And
let me first preface this by saying thank you for your service, Evelyn. I mean, I admire women that go into the service and serve. It's a pretty tough place for a woman to be. And so I admire the strength that you had to be in the service and serve our country. There's nothing more admirable, I think, than what you've done and so many other women. I kind of look back at my life and think, I kind of wish I would have had that not opportunity. I wish I would have had that experience. I think that you probably learned a lot being in the service, and especially in a man's world.
Yes, and in the military, it was a lot when I went in 1985, right? And you're right. But what's interesting is that there's a lot more women in the military than in doing man jobs, and doing things that protect his country than it is in the trades. The percentage.
Right. That's very interesting to me because like you said, I don't think people realize how many women, and you went in 1985, and I knew women back then who had joined the service. And I actually had thought about joining the Air Force right out of high school, but ended up going a different career, going to college, and I didn't end up doing it. But we thought of it back then is what I'm saying. So there are so many women that have gone into the service, served our country, served in law enforcement, but that's a great analogy. We don't go into the trades. And I know we like to work with our hands.
Yes.
And I know we like to fix things.
Yes.
So why not? Has it been a stereotype maybe that it's not for women?
I think there's a lot going on with that because, like, boy, you really went there, didn't you? Yes, there's a whole lot going on with that. And I think it's information. I think the information is not out here. And I keep referring back to McDonald's and Burger King and Walmart. You see all kinds of commercials, right? With men and women on there. But then I'm like, well, where's the commercials or the information for trades?
Well, and I think it was something that in my time, not now, but I don't think that women see that role model, like you're saying, because when I grew up, we had home ec and the guys had mechanic.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore, but we also don't have role models for women to say you can do anything, including the trades. And,
True.
when you came to me and told me that this is what you did and you were trying to get more women involved, I was amazed because I had never thought about it. But it's something I think, people should do a trade that they love. A lot of people don't want to go to college and don't feel that that's something what they want to do, but they want to work in the trades. And I think that women are not exploring it because they don't have those mentors or there's not the information out there. It's just probably an unknown. And I think that by you doing what you're doing is going to help women decide to take that career path. And I think that it would be rewarding because, I mean, if that I met a woman in this journey for mayor that actually owns a trades business with her husband, and she's a woman of color as well. And I was just amazed that they chose that path because, like you said, you just don't hear of it. But it's a rewarding. People can make a very good living at it, especially when you own a business. And I think that we need to educate younger women that this is a career path that they can take.
Yes, I so agree with you on all the points that you hit. And I know they like to go to the high schools and all of that. And my follow-up with that is, what were you thinking about when you were in 12th grade, right? I mean, think about it. Like, were you thinking about, oh, I'm doing a career path? Heck no, I was in the streets having fun, hanging out with guys,
Exactly.
kind of like, I think we need to do it possibly in junior high school or even in elementary school. I mean,
I've always believed we should bring the trades back to education because, they did have it. It was, of course, more gender specific back then, but it doesn't have to be that way anymore. But we're forcing kids to go to college that end up spending all this money on college and then doing nothing because that's not the career that they wanted for themselves. And I think that, again, I think it's really important that we do bring the trades back in school. And I think we need to educate women once again, that they can pretty much do anything they want. And
yes.
One of the things that I love about what you do is that you're getting the word out. Women in Trades. That's the name of your business. Women in Trades.
Yes.
And when I first saw that, it makes you think. It makes you want to promote that to other women because we don't think of it. It's just not something that came natural for us because of the way we were raised.
Oh, you hit on another point there. Oh my goodness. So that's the other part too, right? Even in when I got done with the military and really didn't think about it anymore, had my family and then I was like, well, I'm gonna go to college. And everybody's like, oh, do administration. Well, I'm like, administration. Then I found out the secretary work, receptionist work. And again, why did you not lead me somewhere else, right? You led me directly to administration, and I ended up coming here to Vegas, did administration, and then look what happened, bounced right back into the trades. And I was like, wow. And paid, yeah, the college money, right? All the oh man, that was something else too. Finally got that done. But it's like, it's something, right? Because you go through those 4 years, if you do a 4 year, your BA, but usually you don't even stay in that. So all that
Right.
money that I had to give back, and I'm not even doing it, well, it's helping with doing my own side of it now, but no, no.
Right, right.
That's
And I think that there needs to be more training geared towards women. And so we need to look at our workforce connections and find out how they're promoting this towards women. You know, just talking with you tonight even gave me those ideas that let's find out where we're at with our workforce connections. Let's
thank
find
you.
out where our workforce training is and what the ratio is between men and women. And let's find out how we can promote it with those looking for a career, looking for a path, and just haven't found it.
So now that you don't hit, you know what? We might be on here way longer, everybody, than I planned, because she's really hitting on points that I've been wanting to get answers for. But how do we go about that? Because workforce is such a tight entity that I've tried several times to get into there to find out what's going on, but don't get any answers. You have to be on the ETPL list. If you're not on the ETPL list, you don't even get nobody to talk to you. There's no funding. I mean, it's a really tight situation, which is very sad, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. What are you doing for women? What other organizations are there? I really love that. I love that idea. I love that. So how do you think we should, who do we start with? How do we start this ball rolling to look into this?
Well, I think that's what we first start with, is going to training, different organizations that are training. I know there's a ton of them. There's some that are the city's working with CSN on workforce training. There's the federal workforce training, there's state programs. And I think what is important is, you know, is doing these town hall panels and inviting them to talk about how women can get involved. I mean, I can see you organizing a panel discussion, inviting those folks, and then having everyone ask those questions. How do we as women take advantage of these workforce programs? Can we get trained in the trades?
I like that.
Yeah, I think that that's something that I would take on if I were you, because you have women in trades. You have the women, you can bring the people, and if you invite them to come and talk about workforce, they'll do it. They'll do it. And I would go to CSN, I would go to the federal, the one that's funded by the federal government, and I think Irene Bustamante was with them. I don't know if she still is with Workforce Connections, but
I think she's on the board or something. But
yeah, I think she's on the school board now. But you know, I would also try to get it involved in CCSD. Right now, they're having a few issues. I would wait a little bit till they can figure out where their money is, but it might be a good idea to meet with them and talk about how you can get the trades involved back in the school.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And you know what? What about the universities? I mean, more like CSN, the colleges, and find out, are they, I think they are, because they have the workforce. Are you teaching the trades? Are you just teaching, you know, degrees, or are we, I do remember looking through their catalog, and I do believe they do a lot of certifications. And so maybe, you know, meeting with them and coming up with a program for the trades.
No, I love that. That's excellent. That is so, I didn't even
You
think
know,
about
I'm a businesswoman, Evelyn. I look for solutions, and you do too. And we can come up with plenty of solutions to get the ball rolling, especially when we do it together. And so these are really good ideas for us to start exploring. especially since you have the women and they're ready to go. And then I don't know what the challenges you face with the unions. Are they sort of not really wanting women in them, or are they open to it? I don't know.
Well, that's the question I've been asking. You say you want this, but then you use good faith, and good faith says, I did it. And that's all there it is, right? You can say, oh, I went to the resource fair and women didn't apply, or, oh, I've been, we got here, we got open applications, but women just aren't applying. But then here I am at most of the resource fairs, most of the career fairs, most of the tech resource fairs, most CSN resource fairs, and there's not a lot of trades that I see at them tables. And and then we have
now, do they take women in to train?
Whenever they do the applications, they say they accept them. But that's one thing I'm working on, because I want to know how many women have applied.
Yeah.
What's those numbers?
Yeah.
Because you say, oh, they're doing this, and when the bill got killed, it was all women. There's not enough women that want to get it. That's not true. I got emails to prove it from 2019 of how many women. My phone, I got one phone specifically for my business that rings, that just did right before we got on here. And so there is an interest, right? There's a big interest. So I don't understand why we know there's an interest, but that good faith, and there's no way to get rid of it. But if we got rid of good faith efforts, I believe it would be different. I believe there would be more involvement. And plus, I'm trying to tell the trades, I don't want to be you, right? I don't. I want to be the pre-apprenticeship that I am, that gets the women ready, because that's what you need, right? Wouldn't you want somebody to get somebody ready to come and do the job? Instead, you got to go through all of this and explain it, and then you have somebody that's already ready and trained to do it.
Right. And doesn't the military train a lot of women to do the trades?
Yes. I was a diesel mechanic. So there's
wow.
There's a lot of us.
That's impressive. Wow.
I always like tinkering with stuff. I always like that.
I love that. I mean, listen, if women want to do it, they should accept them into that field. I mean, women are good with their hands. I mean, they're the ones that, take care of everything.
And I was going to say that, and you said it too. I was going to say, we walk and chew gum at the same time. We do.
That's true.
And it's always been that way, though. It's not like it's kind of that way. No, it's always.
Listen, Evelyn, when something needs to be fixed at my house, it's me fixing it. No one else.
I totally agree with you on that. That is so cool. That is so cool. I just want to hit on another subject, and with reentry, I think that needs to be promoted more too. Women coming out of jails, women that are in prison, to stop the revolving door, to me.
Yes.
I believe if you give them hope while they're in there, and support them.
Well, Evelyn, you have to get them trained while they're in prison. And, I'll give you an example. We were in council today, and there was a gentleman who could not get a special work permit because he had a pretty bad record in the past. But wanted to get a job, and it was in a smoke shop, so it's not going to do any harm. And I asked my colleague, how do you feel? And he was like, well, the person was like, well, they have a little bit of a record. And I said, people want to look for a job. We want to get them to work. And my colleague agreed, and we unanimously gave him his work permit. Look,
Of
if
course.
you want people to stop committing crimes, you got to give them you got to let them work, especially if they're more than willing to work. So I believe that what we see today is people are not being held accountable for crime. I believe people should be held accountable for crime.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But when they're done paying their debt,
Yes.
you have to give them that chance,
And
and you have
and
to
and,
train them. You have
and
to
then leave
train them.
alone.
You
Don't
have to
keep coming
train
at
them.
him. Oh, you know what you did? You know what you did? Okay, I did my time. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah,
Leave me alone now. Let me live my life. And
exactly.
I really believe, like you just did, look what you just stopped. You dropped crime rate. They can say, oh, well, but it was only one person. No, no, no. I don't see it that way. I view that you just cut down on crime because you helped someone that was committing crime. Now he doesn't have to go do that no more.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
mean,
And like I said, when you can, too many people think that we shouldn't hold people accountable for crimes. I don't agree. I think you have to have severe punishment for severe crimes. But
if you did it,
second
you got to
chances.
hey.
Look at John Ponder with Hope for Prisoners. That's a greatest example of second chances, and a man who not only turned his life around, but he turned thousands of people around with his program. And I think, again, once you've paid your crime, we need to be there with open arms and say, let's help you get a job. Let's help you re-enter society and the community and contribute to
Right.
the community.
And
So
just for the record, I've approached John Pounder several years, 6 years now, and he will not collaborate with me, partner with me. He says, "Oh, I'm already helping women." Oh, okay. So just for the record, I just want to say that. So I go my own way. I do my own thing. But I just think we can't just think that, oh, just leave them up there and they'll figure it out. No, because some do want to change. Some do want to change.
yeah,
So the ones that want to change, let's do
I
that.
agree. I agree. And, I'm also all for helping them learn a trade. I think it's important that if they're willing to learn a trade, that we offer those services. I'll give you an example. We're working with the state on trying to have them adopt pet, or not adopt, rescues, take care of pets before they get adopted, and teach them to train the animals. And when they come out, they can have a great career in training animals. You pay a fortune to get your animals trained. And so there are many opportunities that we can do with the prison system to help people learn a trade. Because if we're not teaching people how to fish, then they are going to continually need to be fed, right?
Oh my gosh. Because isn't I don't know, I'm not sure if it's Arizona, but they do the horses, the Mustangs. There was a movie about that.
I think I heard about that. Yes, actually, the people we were working with in the state prisons were the main director was telling us about that. And that is so key. First of all, you're helping the horses, you're helping the animals, and you're helping the people, and people are learning a trade. And this is the way we need to think. We need to start thinking more holistically rather than, just sectional about different things. And I think when we think holistically, there's so many solutions that we can bring to the table, and all for the better of society.
And that's so that was the other part that I was trying to say. When you help somebody with a career and a job, what do? They buy houses, they buy cars, they buy trucks, they go out to eat, they go do shopping, which helps.
And then we have revenue to do services.
That's what I was trying to hint to everybody. It just doesn't just, it kind of expands things, and
Yes,
and then you have families that are helping each other and everything. And it's just such a win-win all the way
it is a
around.
win-win, and we have to start thinking that way. again, it has to be holding people accountable for crimes, because I think we've gone too far when it came to rehabilitating. Rehabilitating is great, but when you say we're not going to hold people accountable because they're poor, or, whatever, that's where we're missing what we need to be doing. Hold people accountable, but then give them a chance. If they
I
fall a second time, we'll give them another chance. But you have to be held accountable for your crime.
I think holding accountable, period,
Yeah.
about everything,
Yeah.
if you,
You're right.
even if you're running and we've talked about this too, there's, I'm not going to say names, but there's other colleagues of yours, but that are not being held accountable, right? Like when
It's
you
true.
run, I thought you're running for the people, by the people. I just don't understand
Exactly.
that. Why would you
Exactly.
run and then you just kind of sit there like, well, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and I think it resonates with people. People have the ability now not just to look at a ballot and pick a name. They can go online. They can see people. They can watch your podcast. They can watch some other podcasts. They can, there's a whole new world out there where you can start seeing who
Mhm.
these people are that want to be your representatives. And so it makes it a little bit easier for people to vote on that ballot, as opposed to maybe 30 years ago when people weren't able to go on an internet and see who these people are. So, our new technology is good and it's bad. It's good because, there's a whole world out there. It's
Right.
bad because it's consuming our entire life.
Literally, because you lose your phone, you are in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, who
That's
am
all
I?
I'm gonna
Where am
say.
I?
Oh my gosh. And back to the voting, and it's very important to vote. It's so important. It's important no matter what side of the fence you're on. It's so important to express that democracy part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And to be part of it. Because to me, if you don't vote, then I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I
Yeah.
don't.
Very good.
You
Yeah.
ain't. But I don't ran across men. Oh, I'm not going to vote, and I just look at them like, what? Why would you not vote? Because it doesn't mean anything. That's not true. That's not true.
Well,
That's not.
I'm glad you're educating people, because it's not true. And like you said, you don't have a right to complain if you're not part of the process.
No. And why do I don't even want to hear it? I really don't. Once you say you don't vote, I kind of go, oh, and I walk away because why? I'm not going to argue with you. I can't change your mind. I had one guy at Walmart he said, oh, I don't vote. And I was like, why? He said, don't you know there's a conspiracy? And I just went, oh, hi. Right. I walked away. I was like, oh my gosh, what?
Well, if there's a conspiracy, all the more reason you should vote.
I didn't think about that. I wish you would have been around. I could have said that to him. Because I thought, and this guy was a young guy though, like probably in his 40s, right? So I'm thinking,
Well,
okay.
people are disenfranchised because, it's, you look at politicians and they're really not working for the people. And you can see it up and down the ticket, and people are self-serving. And so you understand that there's apathy out there, but at the same token, you can't change it unless you're voting. So
And
I encourage everyone to vote, even if you think it's a conspiracy.
right.
All the more reason, just vote.
And it's something, because that's the other problem that I have when you get those that are having that don't have anybody running against them. Then now you haven't even seen them no more, right? The primary came, they won, and you're thinking, well, dang, you're not even out here supporting other candidates. You're not even doing. I was like, wow.
Well, yeah, at some point you can see who the people really are by their actions.
Ooh, action speaks louder than words. I love that. I
Yeah,
love that. I love that.
definitely.
Well, I want to, before we into our final words, I just want to say again, I really appreciate you It's all every time I see you, I'm, oh yeah, everybody, we need to let you know that she gave us for the veterans. I got selected as one of the women veterans, and we're at the Thomas Mack, and you gave us all the veterans, all our awards and everything. Matter of fact, wait a minute.
I love it. There it is.
Wait a minute.
Oh, there it is. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. Well, it's well deserved. Evelyn, thank you for your service. Thank you for being that woman in 1985, a woman of color, as you say, joining the service and saying, I'm going in. I mean, you have a lot of courage to be able to walk into the service as a woman in 1985 and then serve and learn and everything that you've gone through. I don't know what you've gone through. I forget what branch you did. Army.
Yeah,
that's tough.
You just said it.
That's tough. How was boot camp?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then it was something because I was I got a patch for being sharpshooter too. So that was interesting.
Wow. Well, if anything's happening to me, I want you to be around. That's all I can say. I'm surprised you didn't go into bodyguard security.
Well, actually, I did. I tried to get into the police force when I got out, and I missed it when I was taking the physical for running by a 16th of a second. And they said,
so why didn't you do it again?
Because you know what happens. You get frustrated. You're like, whatever. And then you got to wait another year. And then you're like, I'm on to something else. That's over. Yep. I did. I went there. I did go there.
Love it. Was that here? Was that Metro?
Yes. That's okay.
Yeah. You're where you're supposed to be.
And that's how I got to do it. Otherwise, I get frustrated. You're right. I'm like, the man upstairs has me where I'm supposed to be at, doing what I'm supposed to do.
That's right.
Then I just have to, live in that world and keep moving. Right. Right. Well, I would really.
Well, I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of you too, though. You're in a lot of spaces that I'm in. A lot. I see you, and that's why every time I see you, I go hug you. Hey, what you know I'm here? Hey.
Yeah.
And you're always nice to me, respectful, giving advice, always. So I just want to thank you for that, because that means a lot. It really does. Because in this state of Nevada, women aren't always nice to each other in
No,
spaces.
they're not.
And it's always like a power thing or something, and it's like, no, I'm in my lane, you're in your lane, and there we go. But I just appreciate you for always being there for me. I can call you. I just thank you for always being there.
Just know that I'm always going to be there for you, and I love you dearly, and I have a lot of respect for you. So I'm grateful to be here on your podcast, and anytime you need me, I'm here. And, just want to tell folks out there that anytime anyone needs me, you can go to my website, victoriaseaman.com. I am running for Las Vegas mayor, and I would love to get your vote, everybody's vote. So thank you so much. And, I love you, sister. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, sister. I do. I'm glad that we have this great relationship. I'm glad. I'm very happy about it. And
I'm grateful as well. So invite me again, and have a wonderful evening, and stay strong. And we're going to conquer the world together, one trade at a time.
And yes. I love that. Is there anything else you would like to say before we end this? Is there any
Election day is November 5th. Early voting starts October 19th. And I'm grateful I had some time to spend with you tonight. And I really appreciate you from the heart.
You too. I do. You too.
All right. Take care, my love.
I want to just end with our mission statement. And the mission statement is to empower all women to hold hands as we rise. And thank you all for being on here tonight.
Thank you, Evelyn. Bye-bye.
Voting is more than just a right, it's a powerful tool for change. Every vote counts and every voice matters. Voting protects your rights and helps to build a better future. And it's a way to hold our leaders accountable. Voting isn't just about the big elections either. Local elections impact our daily lives. It is important to study the candidates and the issues in order to make an informed decision. Election 2024. Don't sit it out. Your vote is your power. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.